But I don't know, X. I've kind of just talked and talked and talked and talked.
But yo, Ron, before I jump off, I want to steal the spotlight and say on behalf of everybody here, the whole hip hop city of Toronto and the GTA, we love you, man. Thank you, man. Ron is the Don. One more time, Ron is the Don. I'm finished.
My dad always says something. Said time is the greatest judge.
Trust me. A lot
of people dissed Ron. A lot of people threw pop cans at Ron. A lot of people said
slash my tires.
Remember your car tires got scratched.
Slash my tires, rocking my car back and forth.
Now, when they see you, what do they say? What do they think? They have to.
Yo, when they see me now,
thousands of dollars as a promoter to bring hip hop to the city. So you can't say that yourself, but I'm gonna say it because I was right there in your house in your living room. Me and X is right there, and yo, this guy's sacrifice. This is our cool Herc you're talking to right here.
Yeah, but
as far as this city goes.
Remember one thing though, man. I didn't know I was sacrificing. I just loved what I was doing, man. So that's what I was doing.
But the other thing about Ron is a lot of people get their show and they take their shine. And what I big you up for is you continue to embrace. You told X to come in. You know what I mean? You didn't just try to keep it yours. So you were the reason that we then continued to encourage people to come in. And then after Powermove, you still were doing Reggae Mania. Like, you never stop. You keep creating.
And the other thing, sorry to jump in, that's got so much important points that I noticed, knowing the timelines. You're the only out of all these promoters, I'm going to call every promoter out. You're the only one, Ron, that gave us artists a chance to open up. Mishi opened up for K, Rumble, Ice-T came. It was always 3 Canadian hip-hop artists in the bill. This generation of artists, I feel for that. Because I have people that are paying to get on, open up, and all kind of stupidness to get on show.
Well, you know what,
you gave us a platform and gave us the power.
I'm going to anchor that, Thrust, because I'll tell you one thing, and thank you for that. I don't know, like, it came naturally, I'll say this, but if you remember the Battle at the Concert Hall Part 1 and 2, the reason that I put that together was so that we could put Canadian artists on the map. Because back then there was no Canadian artists being recognized. It was such a struggle. You know, we had nobody. Like, all we had was American culture, taking away our culture. We were undefined. We didn't know what it was like to be Canadian. Every song that I played on the radio back then was wannabe gangster songs because we had to pretend we were somebody else. Now we got real gangsters, right? Okay. So it's amazing how things have changed, Mish. You know what I mean? And Mishy, man, I just want to say proud of you, man. Big up Sunshine Crew, because before I discovered you, they discovered you. You know what I mean? That was the old school before Rod Nelson's old school. What changed it? Yo, remember one thing. Sunshine was nobody could take Sunshine down. They were like so dominating for so long. The only reason that I came along and kind of had a chance to put a stamp on hip-hop, because Sunshine deserves a lot of that credit, and Maceo and Doc and Kilowatt and Sound Rebound and all those crews going back in the days, but it was a radio station, you know? I was the first person to go from the streets and take that music from the streets onto the radio. So that's why I'm so indebted to CKLN. I love the station right now. I'm in, whatever you want to call it, management here. I'm on the board of directors. I'm the chair of this board. I'm the guy that was going to go down in case that decision was against CKLN. I was going to have to go down with CKLN, you know what I mean? But I'm a fighter. I've had to fight for everything all my life. That's the story of hip-hop. We be fighting, and we still going to be fighting forever. So right now, I just want to stress to the entire hip-hop community one important thing. CKLN is not out of danger yet, okay? We're probably going to be going back to court April or May, and we're putting together all of the information necessary to win the judges and the people over in the Federal Court of Appeal, because we've been granted a stay, which means that we'll have our day in court. It doesn't mean that, you know, we got a ticket to stay on the air forever. So it's very important that we stand united as a hip-hop community and remain vigilant, and we got to sign those petitions. We got to protest. We got to rally. Right now we're talking about maybe having a CKLN day where we rally all the artists and sounds together and put on one big event, but we need to be out in the public eye. And this community that has benefited from CKLN and that we support all the time, now over the next 4 months, just remember what I'm saying. Please, I'm begging you, okay? It's very important to show why CKLN is important to you, okay? And that includes what you do, what you say, what you write, you know, how you kind of communicate from a hip-hop point of view. Just tell it how it is. Use your own language, you know what I mean? And just say why it's a vital component in this hip-hop community, all right? I know I'm kind of of talking a lot, but that's my legacy, man.
We love you.
People used to go by me in the old days and say, Ron, you talk too much on the radio. You know, that's how they used to greet me. Michi, you know what they say now?
What?
They say, Ron, man, I just want to say thanks, man, respect, because back in the days, you know, I was one of those boys that used to, you know, like breaking your dances and stuff and get through the back door and be, you know, slashing your tires. I didn't appreciate it back then, but now I'm older, I got kids. And, you know, I just want to say thanks, man, because we ain't going to get that ever again. So it's taking time for them to grow up. There was a lot of hate. Maestro, big up. You know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of hate back then. But now there's a little more unity in the community. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This town was a town of hate. Let me reinforce that, okay? Back in the days, we used to sit there and be dissing people and saying they don't sound right and this and that, and they didn't know that we didn't know the importance of like sticking together. So Toronto, if there is still hate in your hip hop community, man, that's one ingredient that will make you like regress instead of progress. So get rid of it and start to love each other and support each other and work together. And the last thing I want to say that's very important, is, and I said this at Manifesto, okay? You guys need to find somebody in this hip-hop community named Toronto, okay? Because back in the days, I know I left hip-hop and that may have disappointed some people, but when I was in it, I made it my life, and I put my money where my hip-hop was, you know, and I chose to be a promoter and to represent with an agenda the uplifting of a whole Canadian music scene. So we need someone or an organization to get together and make that their agenda, get corporate sponsorship, get the money necessary to start giving our artists that exist now, the youth of today in hip-hop, a chance to step up and, you know, compete with the rest of the world, man, and that's very important. So make it happen no matter what you do. Don't just talk about it, do it. 1 year from now, I want to hear that it's done. All right? Word.
Okay, really quick, this is the Powermove show on CKLN, and Ron, before you leave, just ask this person that we have on the phone here any hip-hop trivia question you can think of. You're
giving it away. It must be Mastermind.
Those were a long time ago, and Alzheimer's had kicked in, so I can't remember anything.
Mastermind, you were a genius, man. You were the guy that called into the show, and I could ask you any question about hip-hop whatsoever, and you would get it. And that's how you kind of landed in this business kind of thing, man. And just for the record, I used to be Mastermind. You stole my name. Don't make sure to tell people that.
I do tell people that. Actually, I tell people you gave it to me, and you're one of my heroes, dude. Don't even.
Don't worry, G. I'm happy for it, man. I love you, man. I like the fact that you did what you did. You were part of the whole Advanced remix as well. If people remember the whole BLK stuff as well. And Mastermind, you know, he was against the odds, man. Mastermind was also hated to a degree too because he wasn't black, he wasn't white. He was. What are you, Mastermind? See what I'm talking about? People were prejudiced and racist back then. You know what I mean?
I get a lot of props for that now, though.
That's what I'm talking about. Because you're one of the pioneers, man. You kind of survived that whole era of racism and prejudice in hip-hop that we've now overcome. And now hip-hop is universal. It's not black, it's not white, it's like color-free. Anyone can do it, we all have a right to it.
All right, well, let's stop talking about me. I'm actually calling them because of the time slot. And Ron, seriously, without a doubt, you have made such an impression in my life. Again, I told the story last week about being on my balcony, you know, with a broken up box and a coat hanger trying to listen to Lottie Dottie on a cold winter afternoon. And the time slot means so much. So from you know the mid '80s to what it is today is so important, and I'm glad that CKLN has gotten that steady. But again, as everybody is saying, it's not over. So you know you got to fight to keep that legendary time slot there.
Mastermind, thanks for representing, man, because you brought everything you learned from here out in the West, man, and you represented. And, you know, you're one of those people that is going to be in the history books, man. So I just want to big you up, man. A lot of people bigging me up. I just got to say thank you. Mastermind, thanks for calling in, being part of this show. X and everybody here, man. Everybody that showed up. Is Ice here, man?
I have not seen him yet, but I'm sure he's here in spirit.
He's listening.
All right, all right. Look, man, X, one day, man, like, you and me got to play again, man. I got music you don't have because I'm older than you. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know where that lack of ingenuity is. You promoters out there, you could have come up with a concept, Rod Nelson and X, and nobody put like, where is that mastermind?
I tried.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man, we gotta go back to the old school, play some stuff that, 40-year-old people, 45-year-old people. How old do you think I am, man? Gee, I want to bring up Al Capone too, man. Al Capone. Yeah, man.
You were live at the barbecue.
Yeah.
X, we want another live at the barbecue.
It's coming, I promise. It's coming.
Nice.
I was thinking you'd have to add King Turbo to that bill.
Which bill?
The Ron Nelson DJX bill.
Yeah. Well, you know what? King Turbo's had so much exposure now. They had flow and everything. I don't need to do that.
I had flow too.
Wow.
I don't need to do that. So it's all about me, man. King Turbo made their own name. Big up Specs, Andrew and the whole King Turbo crew. Ricky, you too. Even though you don't like me, it's okay. I don't like you either. It's all good. We love each other still. Big up King Turbo. I work with King Turbo intricately. Like I made with King Turbo the Mega Mix #1 and #2 and #3 with King Turbo. So I learned a lot, man. We had people in the studio that I didn't even realize their greatness, courtesy of King Turbo, doing dub plates when I was trying to do hip hop. Man, I'm getting boring now. I've talked out. It's time for other people. There's so many VIPs in the place, man. There's so many important people, celebrity people, people who are icons in this whole business. Mastermind, you still there?
I'm here.
All right, man. Again, I'm gonna cut out, man. They need me. We're hiring a station manager for CKLN, so I'm doing interviews and stuff like that. But remember what I said, man. Just remain vigilant. People promise me you're gonna represent. All right, and that's it, Mishi. You're the most beautiful woman in Canadian hip hop, man. I love you. All right. Forget all the talent and everything else. Just from a marketing point of view, you're gorgeous, baby. We love you.
It's funny how Ron will say what everybody else wishes they would say. They'll say it when you're hanging out, but they'll never say it on the radio.
Hey, enough guys grew up loving you.
Hey.